They didn't appreciate your presence. Let them handle your absence. Sometimes, the most profound lesson someone can learn is not through what we give them, but through the space we leave behind. When you were there, standing beside them, giving love, they never noticed the treasure they had. They took you for granted, wrapped up in their own distractions. They never made time for you, treated you as if you were simply there, never seeing you as the gift you are. They were too busy chasing the noise, living double, even triple lives. How deeply they scorned you, not for who you were, but for how they saw you in their limited view. They used you, drained you, took whatever you had to offer. They broke the law of reciprocity, the sacred balance of giving and receiving. And in that imbalance, they felt nothing missing. But what they didn't realize is that you can't ignore the laws that govern true connection and escape unscathed. You were pouring in love, support, loyalty, while they drained you dry, giving nothing in return. This relationship was never balanced. It was all take, no give. And though they expected you to stay, you knew it had to end. When love flows only one way, it depletes. There's no room for a half-hearted commitment. How often do people talk about giving 50%? But how can you build something real on a fractured foundation? The truth is, love isn't built on halves. It's whole or it's nothing. And there you were, giving 100%, carrying the weight alone, while they gave back nothing. And let's talk about loyalty. They couldn't stay true, couldn't commit to the sacred bond between you. Cheating, straying, disrespecting, every step they took farther from you broke down what little trust they had left. You knew it couldn't continue, and it didn't matter who chose to end it. It had to end. And now that it's over, are you looking back, hoping, begging for their return? You're not searching for how to get them back, or trying to piece together something that was never whole. No. When you know better, you do better. If they were meant for you, their hand would still be in yours, but you walked different paths, you and they, and eventually those paths had to diverge. You are a soul destined for growth, constantly moving forward, while they were dragging you back, bound by their own limitations. The truth is, they never saw you for the miracle you are. They took you for granted, thinking they could keep you in their life without honoring the gift they had been given. They had a treasure, and they treated it like dust. They didn't see the grand prize they held in their hands. It's like someone winning the lottery but not understanding the value of what they have. Going right back to the place they started because they never knew how to grow it, how to honor it. They had a wealth of love, of loyalty, and they squandered it, thinking it would always be there. But you've moved on, and the laws of this world will tell you. Where there is true wealth, more wealth will gather. Where there is emptiness, it will remain empty. It's not just about money. It's about values, about the kind of wealth no one can see, but everyone can feel. Now they are left to deal with your absence. This is the truest, deepest kind of consequence. You see, it's not about revenge in the way some people might think. You don't have to strike back, to wound, to punish. The greatest lesson they will learn is from the void you leave behind. You don't have to lift a finger. Let them face the silence. Let them sit with the loss of your presence. And in that silence, they will hear the echo of what they took for granted. Now they see the emptiness where your light used to be, and it terrifies them. They see now that they lost something irreplaceable. They thought the grass was greener somewhere else, that perhaps there was more for them outside of your bond. And so they left, searching for better, but they found nothing but dry, empty fields. If only they had taken the time to tend the soil of what you shared, they would have seen true growth. But now they are left with nothing, and that is where the lesson lies. They didn't value you when you were there. They saw everyone else in a brighter light, lifted others up while they cast shadows over you. But now, in your absence, they realize the truth. They see that what they lost was a treasure, a gift, a blessing they might never find again. You were a rare soul, and they let you slip away because they were too blind to see. So now you've removed yourself from their life, from their chaos, from their disrespect. And with every step you take, you leave them to grapple with their choices. You don't need to fight them, don't need to raise your voice, don't need to curse their name. You simply walk away. Your absence is all the lesson they'll ever need, and in time they'll understand what they threw away. And in that space, in that distance, you continue to grow, to rise, to flourish in ways they could never have imagined. They are left to wander, to search, to try and replace you with empty connections that will never fill the void. They'll go from person to person, looking for that same love, that same kindness, that same depth. But they will only find reflections of what they lost, and that will haunt them. Yes, you're not perfect, and neither are they. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, but while they focused on magnifying every flaw, you saw past imperfections and loved them anyway. They couldn't do the same for you, and now they walk alone, bearing the weight of that realization. The day has come, the door is closed, and now you're both on separate paths. They wish, oh how they wish you were still there. But it's not love that draws them back. It's the emptiness, the recognition that they lost a rare kind of love, one they may never find again. Let them sit with that. Let them feel the depth of their choices. And as for you, walk in peace, knowing that in their absence you found a freedom, a growth, and a light they will never understand. Let your soul be free. Let your spirit rise. For you are destined for a path that only the worthy can walk. They didn't love you for who you are. They loved what they could take. They didn't cherish your spirit, your heart, your depth. They cherished what they could gain. It wasn't love, it was a transaction. And sometimes that's the hardest truth to see. They valued you for superficial things, the way you looked on their arm, the confidence you gave them, the attention your presence drew. But when it came to respecting your soul, honoring your worth, they fell silent. For them, it was all about appearances. You were an accessory to their ego, a trophy to be shown off. They took pride in winning you, but behind closed doors, they couldn't even honor you with the simplest respect. When they were with you in public, they wore smiles, played the role, gave the world a show. But in private, when there was no one to impress, their true nature emerged, selfish, dismissive, and cold. They treated everyone else better than you. Even strangers were held in higher regard. So why stay in a relationship that drains your spirit? Why remain where love is only a mask, worn and discarded at their convenience. You're here now because you have the strength to walk away. You know your worth, even if they couldn't see it. I'm not here to tell you to leave anyone behind. You'll know what's best when the time comes. I'm here to remind you of the strength that's already within you. You don't need anyone who sees your love as a means to an end. You don't need someone who only recognizes your value when you're gone. Because when that time comes, and it will come, they will cry, they will regret, they will beg. But it won't be love they're missing. It will be the gifts you brought into their life. And here's the truth they'll never admit. They never truly believed you would leave. They saw you as a constant, someone who would always be there no matter how they treated you. But the irony? The moment they realize they lost you, it's not the connection they miss, but the comfort of having someone like you by their side. You were their light, their strength, their beauty. A presence so rare they could hardly fathom it. And now, when they are left with their choices, they'll come running, desperate to regain what they carelessly let slip away. But by then, it's too late. They've crossed a line that love alone cannot heal. You see, they thought they could replace you, thought they could find someone else just like you. But what they don't realize is that souls like yours don't come around twice. They tried to move on, to find you in others, only to encounter empty echoes of the love they once had. They moved from person to person, searching, comparing, longing, but finding only shadows of the real thing. And in those moments, they'll come to understand the depth of their mistake. They may call, they may text, they may show up in unexpected ways, trying to reignite the flame. They will pretend, make small talk, try to check on you, as if they've suddenly remembered who you are. They'll claim to miss you, say they're sorry, try to pull at your heartstrings. But remember, it isn't love they're after. It's the light you brought into their life. They thought they could replace you, that someone else could fill the void. But now they realize that no one else shines quite like you. In their world, they're left with a painful truth. They thought they'd find greener grass, but what they found was barren land. They thought they could walk away and find someone better, but what they found was emptiness. And now they're left to deal with that absence, the absence of you, the absence of the love, the loyalty, the kindness you so freely gave. You were a rare treasure, a gift they didn't know how to cherish. And now they're left with the consequences of their choices. You see, it's not about revenge. You don't have to wish harm upon them or seek out retribution. Your absence is a lesson more profound than anything else. You don't need to lift a finger because the universe has a way of balancing things. What they sowed, they are now reaping. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away. When you left behind a light that cannot be replaced. They'll search, they'll wander, they'll try to find someone who can fill the void you left. But they'll find nothing but reflections of their own emptiness. You were a rare soul, a light they never understood, and now they are left to face that darkness alone. It's not your responsibility to heal the wounds they created, to mend the hearts they broke. And yes, there may have been a time when you cried, when you wanted them back, when you wished things had gone differently. You may have begged, prayed, hoped for their return. But now you see that it was never about love. It was about convenience, about ego, about what they could take without ever giving back. You're no longer the person who waits for someone to realize your worth. You've grown beyond that, and you're moving into a new chapter, one that doesn't include them. They may have thought they could replace you with something new, something better. But they will soon discover that what they had was irreplaceable. The allure of newness fades quickly when it's empty. They will compare every relationship to the one they lost, and nothing will ever measure up. Because you were genuine, you were loyal, and your love was a rare gift. And now that they've lost it, they can never truly replace it. Let them sit with that realization. Let them feel the weight of their choices. Because your absence is a testament to your strength, your worth, your resilience. You are better off, stronger, more whole than ever before. And their regrets are simply echoes of the life they could have had, but chose to forsake. And as you move forward, remember this. You are not defined by the ones who couldn't see your worth. You are not diminished by those who failed to cherish you. You are a light, a rare and beautiful soul. And now you are free to shine without limits, without restraint. You are stepping into a new season, a new journey, one filled with love, joy, and peace that only grows as you move forward. So let them deal with their choices. You are free now, free to love, to grow, to be the person you were always meant to be, and no one can take that away from you. Let your heart be light. Let your spirit soar, and walk forward knowing that the best is yet to come. Their loss is your liberation, and in that freedom you will find a peace they can never take from you.